Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for this video I have this blue eyeshadow look. If you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and also turn on your notifications so you can see whenever I upload. So to get started on my brows, I'm going to brush my hairs in one direction with my spoolie. And I'm going to first start off by outlining my brows with my felt tip eyeliner, and I basically just outline the bottom of my brows, and when I get to the tail end I start flicking the eyeliner upwards to just mimic, some brow hairs because I'm missing hair on the tail ends of my brows. And then once I have my bottom outline, that's the eyeliner that I use. It's the Proline Felt Tip Eyeliner by Wetnwild. Basically do the same thing that I did on one side to the other side. And once I have my outline, I'm going to brush my hairs downwards and then use that eyeliner to mimic brow hairs again. But this time I'm aiming the eyeliner downwards to follow my natural brow shape. And I'm just filling in any bald spots that I may have had. And then I give my hairs another brush through. Now, if you have oily brows like me, I usually do this before I apply any product to my brows, but I use my NYX eyeshadow primer. NYX also has an eyebrow primer, but I figured they're like the same thing. So I just dot that onto my brows and pat that in. Then I go ahead and fill my brows with powder, and I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo. And I just lightly fill in my brows. And when I get to the beginning of my brows, I lightly fill and focus on the rest of the brow and on the tail. So I focus much product on the tail end, and then when I get to the beginning, I kind of lay off the brush because I don't want to go past my natural brow shape. Usually I would just clean my brows. If I'm doing no eyeshadow, I'll just use my chestnut concealer. But since I'm doing eyeshadow, I used my LA Girl Pro Concealer in Warm Honey and Chestnut mixed together. And that's what I use to clean the bottom portion of my brows. Usually when I'm wearing eyeshadow, I would use a lighter shade under my brow. But when I get to the top, then I'll use a concealer that's closest to my skin tone. And I'm also taking this concealer down to my lid. I don't show it in the clip, but I bring the concealer all the way down to my lid. I figured I would show how I do my eyebrows because I know in the last recent videos I wasn't showing it, but there are people still out there that have trouble doing their brows. So if you're a beginner, then use a concealer that's closest to your skin tone to clean both the top and the bottom of your brows. So now that I have that there, I'm going to take a big fluffy blending brush and I'm not sweeping, I'm just patting that concealer into my skin. And then I'm going to use a white Laura Mercier translucent setting powder to basically set that area. And after I do that, my eyelids are set for shadow. Now the top of my brows, I use my Sephora concealer. I'll include everything down below in the description bar, but I just place little dots and then I use that concealer to clean up the top of my brows. And as you can see, it's not as light as the previous concealer that we used. Then I'm also going to take that same brush that I used to blend out that concealer as well, and then you are prepped for eyeshadow. The first shadow that I'm going to use is by Geek and Frappe, and that's what I'm going to use as my brow bone highlight. So what I like to do, as always, I only apply my brow bone highlight to the highest point of my brows and then blend downwards. Next, I'm going to take Morocco, also by Geek. This color is not showing up true on my camera. I don't know why, but I'm taking that shade and taking my Sephora number 10 crease brush, and I'm applying that all into my crease and making sure that my brow bone highlight and that color is blended very well together. And I'm also blending it into the beginning of my eye, and that's going to get rid of that concealer that we applied there. The next shade that I'm going to use is Cocoa Bear, also by Makeup Geek. And Cocoa Bear used to be one of my favorite shades, but I don't know, yesterday it just was not acting right. It barely applied any color, and it actually just fell after when I was filming this video. Um, my eyeshadow pot fell into pieces, so rest in peace, Cocoa Bear. But that's what I used in my crease, and it showed up a little bit, but not how it used to be. So I'm just blending that into my crease, and then I'm going to take Corrupt, also by Makeup Geek, and I'm building this color up because this is going to basically define my crease. So I'm just blending this into the outer corner of my eye and blending it into my crease. So now that that is all blended, I'm going to take the shade Morocco, and I'm just going to apply that on top of the black so it won't have such a harsh line. And then I believe I had went back and apply my brow bone highlight, and then just use that same brush to blend out some more. Now for the cut crease, I'm going to take warm honey again, and I'm just using a small brush. And what I like to do is apply the concealer into my crease to look up, and whatever transfers, that's where I will start to cut the crease. Now I do want to say you want to use a small, like a really small brush to get like a crisp line. So you're going to see me switch brushes just to give me a more crisp line. And then I'll use the brush that I'm using now to blend to my lid. So this is the brush that I'm using. I actually used to use this brush for nail art, but it's clean. And I just placed a little bit of concealer on this brush, and as you can see, it's giving me a much cleaner line than the previous brush did. And then when I get to my lid, I'll switch back to the brush that I used previously. So I'm going back in with Corrupt, and I'm just making sure that my outer V is blended correctly, and I'm just doing pattern motions to blend out. So for my lid colors, I'm going to take Rainstorm by Coastal Scents, and I'm just packing that on to blend in with the black shade. So this is going on the outer parts of my lid. Well, not too much of the outer parts, but towards the center in the outer part of my lid, and I'm just packing that color on. Next, I'm going to take Capri Blue, also by Coastal Scents, and I'm placing this on the center of my lid, just the center, and I'm blending it into that the Rainstorm blue shade that we used. And I'm also using the same brush. I just flipped. I'm using both sides. So one side is going to be for the darker blue, and then the other side is going to be for the middle shade. Then with a new brush, I'm going to take the shade Caribbean, which is also by Coastal Scents, and I am packing this color onto the beginning of my lid, but leaving the inner corner bare. So I'm just packing this in, and it's going to blend into Capri Blue. So you want to, you don't want to have just a straight line of each shadow. You want to gradually place all of the shadows on top of each other. So now that I had all of the shadows placed, I went back in into each shade and applied my of mix and set spray. So I just sprayed my brush and then went back in with each shade to reapply, and that made the shades more vibrant than they would normally look without a wet brush. So that's just what I'm doing there, and I just fast forwarded it because it's the same thing except you're wetting your brush before you apply the shadow. So this is from Femme Couture. I got this at Sally's like so long ago. It's in the shade Blue Heaven. It's a pigment, a shimmery blue pigment, and I'm placing that into my tear duct area. And you're gonna see me. I'm using this. This is straight out the jar, but then I am going to wet my brush as well and add that into my inner tear duct as well. So for my lower lash line, I've already used my NYX waterproof eyeshadow primer. Then I'm going to take Corrupt on a pencil brush, and I'm just blending that into my lower lash line, but I'm not going close to my inner tear duct. Then I'm going to take my Coastal Scents eyeshadow in Fresh Chive, and I'm also going to blend that over the black, and I'm also inputting the green to connect to my inner tear duct, that Blue Heaven pigment that's in our inner tear duct. So my foundation whole face clip was kind of deleted somehow, but I used my Lancome Tint Idole foundation. I blended that with my beauty blender, and then I set with my um, Wetnwild. I think it's called their Pro Filter. No, their Photo Finish Concealer. I highlighted with that, and then I set with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I just applied that on the areas where I highlighted, which is under my eye, my forehead, the bridge of my nose, and my chin. And then I just blended that powder in with my bronzer, which I used by Bobbi Brown. Then I set my entire face with my Sephora powder foundation. I use it as a setting powder, and I just blend in everything together. As for my nose, I'm going into my nose contour. I use the Nicka K contour duo, and I also use that to contour as well. I didn't do any cream contouring like I normally would. I just used the contour powder after I had applied my foundation, and then I'm just using the lighter shade to do my nose contour. And what I like to do is push that into my eyeshadow so everything can be blended all together. Then back to the eyes, I'm going to use eyeliners. I used two Wet n Wild eyeliners, which is the blue one and that one that I just showed. I tried to be a little bit creative on this step, and then I added that other Wet n Wild eyeliner. I'll put all the eyeliners down in the description bar, but I just created like a little line with this glitter eyeliner on the cut crease. So as for my lips, I used I don't remember the name of this lipstick. I had it for so long. I think it's by Brownie. And I basically just filled in my lips with this, and then I took a napkin and wiped off a lot of the excess, and then I'm going in with Her Cosmetics Unicorn Glaze Gloss, and I applied that onto my lips, and then I was trying to go for this particular lip shade because I didn't have the correct lip liner. So then I went in with my Espresso NYX lip liner to fill in the outer edges and just to make the lips look more neutral than pink. And I kind of actually like the outcome of it. I need to get some more lip liners because I didn't have the correct lip liner that I was looking for or the look that I was going for. But I like the outcome. And this is the outcome of the look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And turn on your notifications so you can see my future uploads.